Are you ready to give yourself a raise? If you're running your business, it's actually easier than you think. See, running your business, there's no one there to cap you, no one there to put limits on you, no one there to dictate how much you are going to earn on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis. It's entirely up to you. However, there's some things that are sabotaging our cap on how much we can make. And in this video, I'm going to break down some key areas where you can make slight changes, you can make simple shifts that would allow you to get a raise. And you can do that in the next 7 days. So if you're ready for that, let's dive in to number one. Number one is asking yourself this question. The question is, who has the most to gain from what I do? And this is a question that you ask yourself when you're thinking about the audience that you serve. Now, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're an advisor of some kind, those are typically the people that I serve, and I happen to be one. But when I think about that, I realize that my experience, my unique gifts, my unique talents, just like yours, can help a ton of people. Now, it can probably help people that are just getting started in whatever area you focus in, or it can help people that are a little bit further along that maybe are on step 2, step 3, and perhaps you have deep experience, a deep well of knowledge that helps people that are more advanced. So if I look at myself and my consulting and my training company, some of my clients are already at 7 and 8 figure businesses, and I help them build more scalability while reducing their time operating in the business so that they can have more family time. That's the people that I serve. So I advise these 7 and 8 figure business owners. However, the things that I show them, I have a way of also teaching people that are just getting started in business. When I think about the two and everyone in between, my question is this, and the question you ask yourself is, who has the most to gain from what you do? So I'll give you an example. Let's say I have a strategy to help you price your services a lot higher. In fact, one of my clients, I helped them create a $100,000 mastermind program that didn't exist before. But they were already doing something successful. Now, the strategy, the tactics, the mindset that it takes to create a $100,000 offer, those are the same things that somebody just getting started in business can actually do. But there's more obstacles in the way for somebody that's just getting started. There's confidence issues there. There's perhaps fear. There's a lack of experience. There's a lack of knowledge. There's a lot of things they're working through. So my same advice is far greater and far more valuable to somebody who's already established, looking to grow, versus somebody that is just getting started. And if that's the case, if I have this 7-figure level of advice that I keep selling to people just getting started, there's a cap on my income because the people getting started have finite resources, they have finite time, they have a lot more, they have many more obstacles in the way for them to execute on what I'm sharing with them. And so yes, it's helpful for them, but they can't do the same as somebody else that's more established as they can do with the advice that I give them. And so when I ask myself, who has the most to gain from my experience, I look at somebody that's already doing good and wants to get to great versus somebody that's at nothing trying to get to something, right? It's a very different audience. Well, not only is it a different audience, it's the same issues that I'm solving, right? But it's not only a different audience, what they're willing to invest to solve their potential problem that I can solve is very different. So perhaps the person just getting started may be able to invest $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in a solution that I can provide, where the same exact expertise, the same strategies that I offer might be a lot more valuable than somebody more established, somebody that perhaps is already doing $250,000, $500,000, $1 million a year, several million a year. They're willing to pay $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, over $100,000 from my expertise. What changed? Was it my expertise? Was it that I got more certifications? Was it that I got more education? No, actually what changed is the internal question that I ask myself: who has the most to gain from what I offer? And if I align my offer, my value to the right audience, I can do the exact same work that I'm doing, but it's valued far more to this audience compared to somebody that's just getting started. Does that make sense? So ask yourself that question. Who has the most to gain from what I do? Perhaps you do weight loss, and I'll give you an actual example so you know how this applies. But let's say you were doing weight loss. And let's say it was you were talking to somebody and you're a fitness coach and you do amazing work and your body demonstrates how good you know this stuff and your habits demonstrate how good you know your stuff. Well, if you approach somebody that maybe wants to lose a couple pounds, 2 or 3 pounds, and they're just getting started, but there's not that same motivation, maybe they'll pay you $50, $100, a couple $100 because they don't really have the motivation. They're not at a place where there's a lot of urgency to lose 2 to 3 pounds. Whereas somebody on the opposite spectrum, somebody that has more urgency, like they just got diagnosed at the doctor that there's a sickness, there's an illness that they're trying to avoid, And so having healthy habits, having a more active lifestyle, eating better, having better nutrition can keep them from a disease, can keep them from a sickness. So your unique perspective, your advice is significantly more valuable and important and urgent to somebody at that place than somebody that's trying to look to perhaps lose 2 to 3 pounds. Does that make sense? The investment level changes too, because the urgency is here. Your same value is so much more important to this individual than this individual that they're willing to spend more. They're willing to invest more. So if you want to give yourself a raise, the first thing to ask yourself is, who has the most to gain from what I do? That's number one. Number two, here's how to give yourself a raise. Get better at describing what you do. Here's what I mean. Most people, when they describe their products, their services, the things that they do, they talk about the mechanics or the details of their work and not the outcome of their work and not the results of what they do. And people will save money on the mechanics of things so that they can pay and invest in an experience. Well, how does that relate to us as a business owner? Well, let's say I'm a dentist. And I had braces as a child. My wife had braces. My son had braces, right? So if, let's say you're a dentist and that's what you do, you help people with braces. Imagine positioning my offer on braces as this. And I'm going to give you this first example that's focusing on the mechanics of what you do and trying to get money for the mechanics of what you do. This is what it sounds like. Hi, I'm a dentist. I just looked at your teeth and it looks like you're going to need braces. Now, here's what we do when you say yes to getting braces for $7,000. I don't know what they run for these days, but let's say $7,000. Here's what you get. Number one is we're going to do x-rays of your mouth. We're going to look at the structure, your jaw. We're going to look at the health of your teeth, your bones. So we're going to look at that first. Number two, we're going to look at the alignment. And then secondly, once we get into the process, what we're going to do is we're going to get you here on a monthly basis. We're going to put some wires on your teeth and we're going to make sure that there's enough glue on every tooth where the wire stays put. Then every month when we do check-ins, we're going to tighten that wire. It's going to cause a little bit of pain and discomfort. But rest assured, in 2 years, you're going to have braces. And by the way, we're going to ask you what color rubber bands you want. And every week or every month, we're going to keep adjusting. And you're going to get x-rays throughout this process for the next 2 years. So what would you say? Would you like these braces or not? Well, if you sell that way, how valuable is the mechanics? If that's all I know about braces, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to look for other people that could do the exact same mechanics out there. I'm going to look locally. I'm going to look on Yelp. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to get referrals and find out who can do braces the least, because all I know is I'm going to compare the mechanics of getting braces to somebody else that can do the mechanics for far less in less time with less effort. So now it becomes a commodity. I'm shopping for pricing because there's nothing that differentiates that from other people that offer the same exact mechanics or the process of braces, right? But now let's have a different approach. What if instead of of communicating the mechanics of our offer, we talk about the outcome and the results of the offer. What does that sound like? So same person, still the dentist, but this time I go to you and I say, Alex, you told me before that you speak for a living and you have a lot of business meetings. And then you go home and you have your family there, and there's times that you're sitting at home and dinner and sitting at the table and you're eating and your teeth start hurting. And then at night your jaw keeps locking. Well, that's what we do. We help you with braces, but here's what you're actually getting when you get braces. Number one is you're going to remove the pain. That pain that you feel almost every night as you're eating dinner or you're eating your meals. We're going to eliminate that so that you can enjoy that dinner time with your family and you can focus on that family time and the food you're eating instead of that pain and discomfort you feel. You know how you have trouble sleeping because your jaw keeps locking at night and then you wake up in jolts of pain? We're going to eliminate that too. The braces that we help you with eliminate that pain. Not to mention when you go and speak, when you go and present, when you go in these meetings, imagine the confidence that you'll have. When you show up and you're proud of your teeth, you're proud of your smile, and now suddenly you create a different atmosphere when you speak because now you're smiling from ear to ear because now you don't have to hide your teeth anymore. You don't have crooked teeth anymore. Now they're going to be beautiful and straight, and it gives you the confidence to project that confidence onto others. And guess what? It's going to improve the work that you do. It's going to improve the impact that you have. And so that's what we help you with. These braces, yes, they're braces. You can get braces everywhere, but our focus is not the braces. Our focus is actually giving you confidence, giving you more enjoyable time with your family, allowing you to not feel that pain and discomfort you had before. And to get that, we're going to do that through braces and the investment for all that, for the confidence, for removing the pain, for feeling better about your appearance. It's $7,000 and it'll take 2 years. But my goal is that by the end of 2 years, and even before then, we're already going to see an improvement in your confidence, see an improvement of how you feel about yourself, see an improvement in how you eat and how much less pain you have. And so that's what we do. We help people with their confidence and we use braces to help to do that. What do you say? That's a different approach. I'm not selling nuts and bolts. I'm selling results. I'm selling outcomes that people want. I get really familiar with what my ideal clients want, and then I sell them that. And they don't care about the process. They don't care about the mechanics. When's the last time you went to get a tune-up in your car and you asked them what wrench they used? Or what bolts did they tighten? You didn't ask them that. What you needed is a running car on the street that's not going to break down on you. You needed that car that you invested in to last you more time, to not interrupt your road trip that you're going to take. You didn't care about the tools. You didn't care about what lift they used. You didn't ask them what brand. And oftentimes, the reason you're limited on how much you charge for your products and services is because you're approaching them. You're selling them all wrong. You're selling your product. You're not selling an outcome or result. So if you want to give yourself a raise today, focus on that. Focus on the outcome, the result, the promised land, what they're going to get out of the whole thing. And don't really talk too much about the details because the details don't matter in the grand scheme of things. People aren't buying emotionally because of the logistics of your offer. They're buying because what the offer will do for them. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to feel more confident. I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to get more sales. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to save more money. I'm going to invest in the future. I'm going to have better relationships. That's what people are buying. But if you're selling, here's 16 workbooks. Here's 14 hours of video. The logistics aren't making the sale. And so that's why you've capped yourself on how much income you can make. So that's number two. That's number two, right? Number one is who has the most to gain by what you do. Number two is sell outcomes, not logistics. And number three, here's a big one. You want to give yourself a raise? Here it is provide other avenues for people to invest in you. See, if they had a good impression with you, if you made an impact in their lives, they're looking for more ways to get served by you. And if you don't offer other ways, then they can go one way, they get what you had to offer, and then they're off with this great experience, trying to find that exact experience in somebody else that can never provide it for you because they're not you. So they have to settle for other options out there. Why? Because we didn't make another thing available. Recently, I was looking at some of the offers that I had, and I put out an offer. It was a workshop that I was selling. I do workshops pretty frequently. But I was selling a workshop, and some people joined the workshop. And I remember this happened. It was a workshop, and it sold a boot camp. And the boot camp was now 4 weeks of mentorship, training, that kind of thing. So started with a workshop. And then if you got value out of the workshop, we can actually go and execute and implement together over the next 4 weeks. So there's a boot camp. And so some people that bought the workshop, a one-time offer, a one-time opportunity, said, I want more. How do I get more? Great. Hey, we have a 4-week experience. And so they came on over. Here's the issue. And this is where I really realized that I was leaving people stranded when I could have offered additional support. What happened in this workshop is I educated them, I equipped them, but there was a segment of those people that joined that workshop that life got busy. They got too busy in their work. They didn't take the time. They maybe didn't know how to do it, how to execute. And so we ended the workshop, and I'm like, great. Hey, stay connected with me on YouTube and follow me on Instagram. Let's stay connected. I'll email you, all that stuff, right? But there was nothing else that I had available. And then I realized 3 or 4 weeks later, I started getting emails. Hey, Alex, do you know somebody that could actually help me execute on this thing? Like, in other words, go and build this marketing strategy out. You told me what to do. You showed me what to do. Who can I go to actually get it done? And I was like, whoa, I didn't think about that. Some people, not everybody, would need additional support, and I didn't make it available. So now they're asking me, who can I go buy from? Because you're not offering that. So if you want to give yourself a raise, you got to think about what other experiences, what deeper levels of service can you make available for the people that have already known you, liked you, trust you enough to give you some money with one of the things that you offer. Because chances are their journey isn't done. So for example, the example I shared earlier was a person that wants to lose weight. So imagine you get somebody to lose 10 pounds, and now they're like, whoa, you just gave me some hope. If I lost 10 pounds, I wonder if I can lose 20 or 30 pounds. And you don't have anything for them? Then they're left to their own devices to go and figure it out. Where you might know how to do that. You already might have those skills at your disposal and you can make it available. But what if instead you said, well, hey, congratulations, Alex, you lost 10 pounds. And I know one of your goals was actually to lose 30 pounds. How about we work together for the next 3 months, 6 months to shed those extra 20 to 30 pounds? What would that be like for you to finally get to that place in your life where you're not carrying around that extra weight? Would that be a value for you? Absolutely. I'd love your help. Thank you. And all we did was make more service available to people because they're not done at their journey. So we meet them where they're at, but we can be on this journey, this path to get them where they're going, right? And so that's another opportunity. If you want to give yourself a raise, starting as quickly as today, if not the next 7 days, number 3 is find new avenues to provide additional value. Because these people already know you. They trust you. They've already experienced you. And a lot of the people that we've served, they would want more if they knew it was available. So those are the 3 ways for you to give yourself a raise. If you're running a business, 3 ways to give yourself a raise. Look at the people that you serve. Is there a way to level up the people that you serve? And I could do a whole video on that. There's so much to that. But is there a segment of the market that you serve that has greater advantages of getting more value out of what you do? Well, serve them because they're willing to invest more because the return for them for the exact same thing is far greater than somebody who's just getting started, who's just scratching the surface, who's at the early stages of the transformation versus somebody that's in the middle of it and wants to go from good to great. So that's number 1. Number 2, we talked about number 2, and it's how you position your offers. Speak to the desires, speak to the outcome, speak to the results they want, not the logistics, not the process, not your product. This happens a lot in the financial service industry where you're leading with a product. Hey, let me tell you about this new insurance product. It doesn't matter. Tell me about how that's going to affect me and my family. I'll buy that. But the product, I'll be shopping around for other products. Who's talking about what I actually want? Guess what? Your product is the vehicle to get me what I want, but I'm buying what I want. I'm not buying the vehicle. Your insurance product, right? So that's number two. And finally, number three, create new avenues, new opportunities to continue serving people at a higher level. Why? Because when you make that available, suddenly there's a portion of the people you've already served that would want to invest in you at a higher level, at a continuous level, if you just make those options available. So give yourself a raise. These are 3 ways. And if you need help with that, feel free to connect with me on fanpreneur.com/tribe. That's a free community that I built for fanpreneurs, those that are looking to build a highly profitable and purposeful business around their ideal family life. If you're that, if you want to build this amazing business without sacrificing your family life, that community is free and it's available to you. If not, reach out to me at alexnavas.com. I'd love to serve you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you real soon.